Okay guys, so what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Matt and we are here with another Marvel Future Fight video. And first things first, if you guys are watching this the weekend that the video drops, then happy Easter if you celebrate that kind of thing. If not, well, I just hope you have a good weekend anyway. And yeah, let's get into today's video. So, as you probably could tell by the title, we are looking at timeline battle and PvP and how we can fix it. Because let's be honest, it's pretty broken in Marvel Future Fight. And this week, just after I hit reset, I was actually doing Heroic Quest. Unfortunately, it's actually ended that week's due to the time of when I started it. It runs for 7 days and then you move on to the next stage. But I think we can have a look in here at the future stages and I can show you where I was, because it was a bit of a problem. And I know it's only Heroic Quest, but we do have the same mission to complete in several of the Epic Quests as well, which is why it comes up, and that is here, number 27, 10 timeline battle wins. Now, you might think, well, getting 10 wins is easy, it's not exactly 10 in a row, and yeah, that is very fair, it's not 10 in a row. But unless you've been playing the game for a long time and you have a really built up roster, it's very difficult. And you can see here, this is with my new free-to-play account. We only just got to silver, even though I don't know how really, because if we have a look at our results from last week, we can see that we didn't do very well at all. There we go, you can see the combined wins and losses from last week there, so we actually finished just outside the top 20%. Don't know how we even managed to do that with a very pitiful amount of points, but we somehow got the 30 crystals for finishing in between 11 to 30 percentile range. And even though it says bronze is only the top 20%, even though we were 20.96, I don't know if they just rounded it down or up, but somehow we squeaked through, and even though we only got the 30 crystals, we still somehow managed to get ourselves promoted. So hey, good for us, I guess. Except it's not really that good, because it means that we get even bigger pool of enemies to fight who are all going to be big tier 3s, and that means that our chances of winning a timeline battle are even lower. So if you have a look, here is our team. And it's pretty much the best I can do with the characters that I have so far, as you can see. Recommended characters aside, the only ones we have there, Sharon Rogers, not exactly great for PvP, and we really don't have hardly anyone else. Sentry, we have only literally just started to build with his epic quest. We got a couple of the other native tier 2s that we're on the way with their epic quests, but we got nothing else. Spider-Man, we have at tier 2, but until we get his uniform, we can't do much with him. And as you can see, he's been trying to re-roll to find someone half decent to fight, and we are just coming up against swarms of tier 3 sentries with Ebony and Colossus. We got another sentry here with Deadpool. We have a Thanos with Sentry and Hela, no chance. Molecule Man, Thanos and Sentry, no. Okay. Alright, well with a name like that, I suppose we have to fight this guy, don't we? Or girl, whoever it may be. Or whatever pronouns they actually choose. So yeah, let's see if we can... No, we can't do anything at all, obviously. We knew that this was going to happen. There's no way that our characters were going to stand a chance against Doctor Doom. So there, for once Pornhub beat us off instead of the other way around. Or, well, you know. Anyway, sorry, that was a bad joke. That had to be made, didn't it? Okay, so now we have our next fight, and you can see we go back down to characters around about our level. This one, Wanda only. Has a Wasp tier 2, so good leadership, passive, got the Loki, probably more than we can handle, so let's roll again. And you can see we have another bronze 1 star, so we roll again, and this one's a gold, no chance for getting past them. But wait a minute, those last two were bronze 1 stars, so that means that last week they couldn't have finished in the top 50. They couldn't have been promoted to silver. So how are they in the Silver League? If they only finish between 50 to 100% to get that 1 star and the measly 10 crystals, surely they should still be in the Bronze League. Or does that mean that there's just a giant pool of bronze, silver and gold players who are all stuck together and having to fight each other, even though you're actually ranked in different leagues, but the pool of players that you're facing could be from any of the 3, and then, you know, the higher golds, platinums, vibraniums all have to fight each other, even though we're ranked differently? We don't know. Unfortunately, it doesn't say. All it says is that the bottom 20% from most ranks get demoted, top 20% get promoted, except obviously for the very highest top 25 in Challenger. So you can see here, silver, possible it was in the bottom 50, gold, yeah, it's possible that they were in the very bottom 20% and that they got relegated. But you look at some of these teams and you think, wow, are they just not playing Timeline Battle? Is everyone just ignoring it? Or are they not playing? Unfortunately, can't tell. They're not really too transparent, unfortunately, Netmarble, with how the system actually works. And I think therein lies one of the major problems. So we don't know how it works. So we know that we're not going to win this fight, but we've got to keep going anyway. Yeah, we got wrecked. Ooh, shout out to Cersei for even getting a 1 whole single attack in. But yeah, it's increasingly difficult, and especially if you do get promoted just for playing the game mode. Ah, here we go. This one we might actually win. This is the kind of level we should be expecting at Silver League or Bronze League. Players of a similar caliber with similar builds. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Daisy Johnson's Quake outfit and Nebula's outfit there, they're both gold cost. Could be wrong, let me know in the comments if I am, but I'm pretty sure they are. So this is the kind of fight that we should be expecting to have, and even though we may not necessarily win, these are more evenly matched, as it should be for people who are in bronze, silver. It should be until you're in gold that you should be facing tier 3s. Well, having said that, it doesn't look like we're going to win. Come on, Cersei, don't let me down, because this is going to make me look really bad if I lose PvP to Hogan. Jesus. Come on. Okay, we squeaked through. Jeez please, that was too close for comfort. But that's the kind of level we should be at, really. Okay, Ryan. Again, they're only a bronze 1 star, but they're in here. Although you can see with the Spider-Man that they have with the latest No Way Home suit, probably going to be too much for us to handle, so I think we're just going to retire for now, and you guys don't want to watch me just lose over and... Well, you might want to watch me lose over and over again if you're sadists, but you get the point. So what can we do? How can we fix Timeline Battle? How can we fix PvP without knowing the kind of pools that we're all in? Are we all just lumped in together? If you look and see, you know, you could just say, oh, you just need to get tier 3 characters, it's easy. Well, no, if you look at the kind of requirements you need, okay, this is for Cersei, but it's similar for Gilgamesh, and then it's the same for Sentry. We need masses of tier 3 materials, which we just don't get easily. So we need to look outside MFF. And as such, we're actually going to be going over and looking at a different game. And I'd like to welcome you all to Brave Frontier. Now, full disclosure, this is a pretty new account. I had not played since 2014 maybe, and as you can see, unfortunately, this poor game, which was probably the first mobile game that I ever spent any money on, is actually closing at the end of the month. So that's a real shame. Poor Tillith there. But for the sake and purposes of this video, it suits our needs because it allows me to demonstrate how we can fix Marvel Future Fight Timeline. Because the robust PvP system in this, which I do believe is quite similar to, in some aspects, to 7 Deadly Sins. I haven't played that game in a while either, actually, so I could be wrong on that one. But this is definitely how you fix it. This is how you take all the bad elements and you change it. For a start, a dedicated PvP squad or team. Many times in Marvel Future Fight, I know the conversation has come up. I know when I've watched Alex's videos, Beast Mode Gaming, and other people's videos, it's been brought up that there's no dedicated PvP team that you can set. And sometimes you can be facing people and you can get 10 easy wins because they just happen to have changed their, say, first team in Marvel Future Fight to one that's just farming uniform XP. And so you'll be going up against, you know, say, maybe a Sentry or a Spider-Man, but then they'll be with two fodder characters like a Nebula and like a Daisy Johnson. And whilst that was a tough fight for me in Silver, obviously if I'm in Vibranium with my Sentry, Spider-Man, Colossus team, I'm wiping the floor with them. But you can see here, we have arena rankings where you rank up based on how many points you get, for how many wins you get. And as you can see, there are absolutely dozens and dozens of ranks. So rather than having just a weekly season, you just have one continuous big progress through the arena ranking, and each time you reach a higher level, you get a new reward. Somewhat similar to Shadowland in Marvel Future Fight, you could say. More so the first time rewards rather than the repeating Shadowland boxes. I think that would be quite interesting to do. You could certainly do that. And if you look, they also have like an all-time ranking list of characters who have got the most wins and sit at the top. I don't know where my old character is. Probably not anywhere near the top, but I was probably about a good 2/3, 3/4 of the way up the list. My last full proper character that I had in the game. You can see the overall rankings here. It would be interesting if we had like a season, so rather than just a week where we have, you know, the likes of Vicky Curry and maybe Cynic Alex if he gets in, or whoever, I can't remember off the top of my head, or the usual suspects, but we all know who they are, who are always in Challenger League. Rather than weekly, maybe if we had like a monthly season and people who were at the top of the league got rewards based on, you know, having the most wins, rather than it being, oh, you squeaked through this week because you had maybe say 4 less wins than the other person, but you had a better win-loss ratio, you won more in a row, sort of thing. And here you can see it doesn't cost anything to re-roll, and although I'm facing someone who's a contender, that's just because of the fact that they've worked their way up to that rank. They're not necessarily better than me. And you can see I have put a little bit of time into a few of my characters here, and whilst it's also nice to see a 5-on-5 fight, similar more I suppose to our squad battle, the event that we get, and as you can see, yeah, we've just ranked up there. But you can see a point system would be great, and this is just a normal PvP mode, so this could be similar to normal timeline, but then we also have special leagues. I believe we have something similar in 7 Deadly Sins where you can have geared and ungeared, but you can see here we have Coliseum, and what this does is it gives certain conditions. Oh, it's in Japanese for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, because I had translated it, so everything should have been coming up in English, but maybe that's just Coliseum. I guess there's no point submitting a bug report if the game is going to be closing on the 27th anyway. Never mind. Anyway, it's not important. We can skip through all of this anyway and get to the important thing. So the main thing here is that it offers, as you can see, different class systems, and as such there are different conditions for participating. Now in this game it's to do with your cost, so you can pick as many characters you want as long as you have the cost for it. Now my cost isn't very high, which basically means that my allowance of who I can pick, because I haven't built my level up. But that could be interesting if we brought that into Marvel Future Fight, so players who are under a certain level in Marvel Future Fight, like under, you know, agent level 40, only fight other people of agent level, you know, a similar agent level, so people who have got a bunch of tier 3s are obviously going to be higher because, you know, gaining those characters ranks you up quickly. So you could, I mean, here it's giving you all these extra additional options of extra buffs that you can give to your characters and your teams. We're not too interested in that. And you can see I've actually gone over my cost there. So I can't put the full team in anyway because my cost isn't enough. But you can see if we had something similar, so it was maybe tier 2s only, or only transcended characters, or only tier 3s, you could have different sub-leagues, different elements of timeline battle, where you could experience a whole range of different conditions based upon your roster. So if you only had tier 2 characters, you're already a beginner, that's fine. You can have your main timeline sort of league, as it were, where you're busy ranking up, but then you can go into a separate timeline fight. I don't know what they could call it. I'm sure someone down in the comments can suggest something pretty awesome that the Marvel Future Fight team could use. And you could say, okay, this league, or for this week, or this, you know, season, we have only transcended characters, and then it's down to people to only use transcended characters, or only tier 2s who can't be transcended, or only level 60 characters. You get the idea. You know, you could do a whole range of things. It doesn't have to be limited to that. You could do it so that it's combat characters or female characters. We see something very similar in the game already, but it's just in a different game mode. So rather than just doing it for, say, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, but just rather than just doing it for only one particular moment, like mode like squad battle, you could bring those elements of, say, only universal villains or speed heroes, and you could have that as a season of timeline battle. And then you have people who have got PvE builds going against those who strictly have PvP builds. Maybe you bring in a second obelisk slot, like a lot of people have been talking about, so that people can have separate builds for PvP and PvE. And here you can see the different rewards that are offered, and you actually get points, and it's down to you. And now I know this is a big thing in Marvel Future Fight because loads of people have been asking for it for Shadowland, is having a Shadowland store. Imagine having a PvP store where instead of just having to grind away and get very little crystals, and people who have a, you know, a bonus because they pay, you know, their big whales and they get twice as many entries as you, they get the best rewards. How about instead of doing that, we have a system where people can just, you know, get rewards based on merit, and they can choose maybe a CTP or a premium card or an artifact if they have enough points, if they've, you know, grind away for however long in the normal timeline battle or the, you know, additional seasons. But there we go. Let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty sure that this would be a big win, and it would fix a lot of the problems that we seem to have. Maybe there is a deep lying issue with Marvel Future Fight's timeline battle. Maybe it is that the player base isn't as big as we think it is, and that's why they have it set up the way that they do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Okay, take care then. Bye for now.